In this next video lesson, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you I guess where we're going to be at the very end of this entire set of lessons. But not just that. What I also want to promote to you is the idea of, well, to be honest, anybody can create a website. I mean, any 11-year-old can create a website these days. You just have to. I mean, you could save a Word document as a web page and create a website. It's that easy. And you know what? To be totally honest, anybody can create a really great looking website. But what we want to do is we're going to bring it up a notch, and I want to show you a way of doing it that includes these four ideas here. One of them is easy management and maintenance. All right, so you want your website, you want to be able to easily add pages, delete pages, easily modify information, and ideally, if you were building this project for someone else, and if they wanted to take it over so that you are not tied for the rest of your life of updating one of these websites, ideally you want to pass on the skills needed to update and upkeep the website to these other people. So if you're building it for a business and these people are experts at running their business, do they have to be experts at HTML and web design in order to upkeep their site? Well, hopefully not. All right. So easy management and maintenance is extremely important. Scalability, I already mentioned a bit about that. What we want to do is, if you're building this for an organization or a business, and that business grows quite heavily, adding new departments, new products, and what have you, you want to be able to increase the scale of the website with relative ease. Professionalism. It's got to look great on the outside. The actual design and layout of the page, but you know what, it's also got to look great on the inside. Okay, the coding and stuff, more on that later. Easy content management. Let me explain this by giving you an example. For example, our school has different departments. We have the PE department, we have the counseling department, we have obviously the teaching. So as an example, for our school website, for one person to upkeep the entire website is going to be a lot of work. Ideally, what you want to do is, for a medium-sized institution, what you want to do is you want to have different people update and maintain the site. So for example, the PE teachers and the coaches will have access to the athletic pages of the website. However, they do not have access to the school counseling website, because the school counselors only have access to the web pages related to school counseling. All right, that is called content management. All right, so we would like a relatively easy way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where we're going to end up with this website, but there's no way I can show you every single feature, and I'm going to try to go easy on the explanation and show you by way of example instead. So let's talk about easy management and maintenance. Okay, scenario. You notice that each of my 6 web pages, okay, you notice the size of the text and the spacing between the text. So the situation is this: I want to reduce the spacing in the text. I think it's too much. All right. Now, what I would normally have to do is, for each of these 6 web pages, and you can see them here, okay. So each of these 6 web pages, I would have to open them up, and I would have to change the spacing of each one of those pages. But what I have instead is, now listen carefully, each one of these pages, okay, is pointing to a CSS page. Okay, so if I were to open one of these web pages and look in the coding, okay, towards the top, in this inconspicuous line number 12 here, I see a link to something called a style sheet, cascading style sheet, CSS, and this is the style sheet name. Okay, and each one of these pages links to that style sheet. So in that one style sheet, okay, what I need to do here is, in content, line height I see is set to 16. So if I reduce that to 10, okay, and I save it, and each one of these pages is looking into this CSS file and is looking at this this line here to get the line height. So when I change it and save that file, I go back to here, push F5, and you can see that it changed the line spacing, not just for one page, but for all the pages. All right, and I can say, well, that's too much. are two little line spacings. So 16 is too much, 10 is too low. So I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go for 14-point line spacing. So you see how it was so quick and so easy for me to change basically the entire layout of this, this website using CSS. All right. Okay. So again, in the whole idea of showing you by example instead of explanation, related to easy management and maintenance, here's the scenario. What I want to do is I want to change where. Okay, so when I click on where, I actually want to go to Google instead of this where web page. All right. So again, the idea here is that for each of these 6 web pages, all right. If I were to change the this link here, if I were to change where, I would have to go and edit every single one. Oh, okay, so CSS, we don't need this anymore. I would have to go and edit every single one of these pages. All right. So I've opened the page and edit it and change it to where, change the link to where, not a big deal if I have 6 pages, but what if I had 10,000 pages? Do I have to open up 10,000 pages and make that one little edit in every single page? Well, not really, because the answer here is templates. All right. So what I have is each one of these pages, you notice, is very similar in design. Okay. The page layout looks the same. What changes is the content between the pages. So what I have, knowing this, what I have is I have a template. So the template defines basically the overall look of the layout. So what I'm going to do is, because each one of these web pages are tied to the template, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the link on the template, right? So I'm going to do something like this. So I'm going to highlight what I want to change, and in here link, I'm going to go to http google.ca. All right. Sorry, www.google.ca. And then now when I change the template, little star here says I change it. When I save it, okay, Dreamweaver is going to ask me, do I want to update these 6 web pages? How does it know that these 6 web pages are affected? Because these 6 web pages I built based on this one template. So I'm going to say update. Okay, and when it updates it, you see that there's a little star in each one of these file names. That means they've been updated. So go File, Save All. All right, and I go back to my site here, and then I'm going to refresh it. So every page I go on, if I click on where, it's going to bring me to Google. All right, and like I said, not just one page, but every single page I go to is going to bring me to the same place. And that is a very quick and painless way of updating pages. You can make, if your pages are based on a template, you could change the template, and that will update the rest of the pages. Very, very convenient. Okay, so the next scenario where it relates to easy maintenance and management is, let's say what I want to do here is I want to change each one of these file names so that there's an underscore behind the HTML files. The reason I want to do that is so that they alphabetically show up at the top of the list. So if I were to change this file name, okay, and what would happen is that this would break the link the other files have to this file here. Now Dreamweaver, you notice the green folders here has kind of a neat way of doing it. I change one file name, okay, and then it's saying, well, if you change this file name, you're going to have to relink the rest of these files, because these other files are looking for are linked to this one. And Dreamweaver, when you define a site, when you see these green folders, I'll show you how to do that later. When you define a site, Dreamweaver knows exactly what links, how everything is linked together. So if you were to change a link, all right, Dreamweaver will ask you, do you want to update the rest of the files that are using this file? And it does it automatically for you. Without this feature, what that means is you would have to go and open every single one of these files, and you would have to manually make that link change yourself. Not a big deal if you're dealing with 6 files, but again, what if you have 10,000 files? I'll show you very quickly again here. So if I go brew, all right, I change the link to underscore, Dreamweaver knows how everything's linked together, and it's going to ask me, do you want to change everything else that is linked to this brew.html file? You go update. Yes, and it does it automatically for you.